Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning, everyone.
Let me just. Yeah. Naman sir. Naman sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can start admitting the students now.
Yes, I'm
That
doing it. I'm
work
doing
is
it.
done. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing.
Meanwhile, I think we can just have a word with Mr. Vikram.
Sure.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Badhwar, you there?
I'm there. Good morning.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry from my part. There's something going on. So, but now it's okay. Done. Smooth.
Hi Vikram, good morning.
Okay, your voice is breaking up.
My voice?
Mayur, hi. How are you, buddy?
Hi Vikram, good, very well. How are you?
Yeah, good. This
So
is
welcome to DCBM. And can you hear me, Vikram?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
I'll quickly introduce you to the faculty here. So
Yes.
we have Professor Neetika Srivastava.
Good morning.
Yeah, then we have Dr. Namrata Kapoor.
Morning.
Yeah, and we have the IT professor and our, you could say, technology savior. So that is Professor Naman
Yes, you
Srivastava.
will be the most sought after man.
These days, yes, true. Yes, no doubt about that. Then we have Rajesh Soni sir. They're shining in red just like you. And then we have Abhijit sir. Yeah.
Good
And
morning.
I can't see Tapas sir. Tapas sir, if you've logged in, just show your face, please. Acha, here is Tapas sir.
Her face.
Can't see you still. Yeah. So that's a young, dashing Tapas Upadhyay sir.
Good morning.
That's a small team. And it's quite heartening to have you with us here. Wish we could have you in person, but this is the next best to being here in person. We're looking forward to a wonderful
Thank you
session.
so much. Thank you. It's actually lovely to get associated with DC at any level, whether it's at the business management school level or at the school level. And Mayur, you are the sutradhar in this story.
Yeah, always.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is our BBA batch, the freshly inducted batch,
Okay.
2023. And they are like, fresh bunch of happiness and have a lot of questions and other things. And I'm sure, yeah. And with your Mentimeter and other things, I'm sure the session is going to be great, wonderful. And we'll just see a short clip of DCBM, and then we can formally begin the session.
Perfect.
We can
About 10.
formally begin, as well as we have one very formal clip of the session, and then there is one really comic, funny kind and the introduction of the college by the senior batch. So that will be really wonderful to watch.
That would be actually fun to watch. Yes.
Yes, actually, sir. So here we begin. I'm beginning.
Are the students there, Naman sir? If you can just, because
there are students. I can see 27 of them right now. They're joining. 24 actually.
24, yeah. So
24
में से 10 तो हम ही है ना?
Yeah, so we have 14 students right now. But people
They're
are coming in.
They're joining
back to. I'm allowing them as soon as they come in.
Please. So I think we'll just wait for another 2 minutes. Because that introduction is for them, that welcome thing. So, and nowadays, because of the pandemic, 10 a.m. is too early. So our students are all, and then yesterday was a busy day for all of us. So probably they're still busy with that. राजेश सर एक बार स्टूडेंट्स को ग्रुप पे डाल दीजिए ना प्लीज।
डाल दिया आपको
डाल दिया अच्छा थैंक यू।
So if I can get the okay, I'm going to share my screen. Just checking.
The count is going up. We are nearing 40 now.
They would, I think.
Surbi, you have 2 beagles, huh? Surbi,
Hi, Vikram.
hi. You have 2 beagles.
No, I have one beagle. This photo has been put by my daughter.
Okay.
She's
All right.
crazy for dogs and she wants to foster. And God knows she's got so many plans. I don't know. She's
Okay.
following all the dogs on Instagram.
Okay. I have 2 beagles, so making my life hell.
Where is Surbi? I can't see.
Okay, yeah, 10 o'clock is too early to show my face, huh?
No, please. That would be the new natural look. So we are all ready for the dewy look. Vikram, Surbi has a session with us day after.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to attending her session.
Yes, why not? We're sharing the link. Because she's quite energetic and she brings a lot of enthusiasm. So we are also looking forward to her talk.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Thanks so much, Sonal.
Most welcome.
Hi,
The
Surbi.
pleasure is all ours.
If you ask my husband, he'll say she's good at creating noise.
She's
And a
good
chaos.
at creating?
Noise and chaos. Very chaotic.
No, I don't agree.
No.
I know. Everybody loves me except him. I'm sure he loves other people more than me.
Don't be unkind to Amit, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. No, I'm sure she's not unkind to anyone.
I'm just pulling his leg. I'm Vikram. I'm looking forward to your session today and tomorrow as well, right? Tomorrow we have one with the YI group, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Thanks to Sonal, I'll be able to see this for free because your sessions are very expensive.
Thanks to you people.
Surbi, you're a friend. You can ask me for a session anytime. Yeah.
So that means we aren't a friend?
आपके साथ अभी मुलाकात हुई है, so
Yeah, of course.
तो आप हमें टिकट भेज देना, हम साथ में बैठ के देख लेंगे मेरे और कोई
Done.
प्रॉब्लम।
Done.
We have now 53 people who are in the group.
Yeah,
now.
I think we can. Naman sir?
Yes, ma'am. Just give me a second.
And somewhere during the session, Naman sir, we can ask students to just put on their cameras so we can have some pictures.
Definitely. You can start now.
My eyes opened. I had been blessed with a new day, another chance to get it right. I could take a small step in a healthier direction. I could be grateful to see that God thinks I deserve another day, and I will make this day count. Good morning, esteemed guests for today, dear teachers, and all my dear friends. Today, we're extremely honored and thrilled to have with us Mr. Vikram Badhwar, who is an experiential educator, positive psychology and executive coach, keynote speaker, musician, martial artist, adventurer, and a communications expert. Sir, you highly need an you highly need any introduction, but I'll try and do justice by speaking a few words in your honor. Mr. Badhwar has been using experiential methods of education since the nascent stages of experiential methodology in India. He started Singrity in 2002 and has ever since built space in the industry as a creative solutions provider. He has worked across disciplines and industry for the last 2 decades using business, experiential positive and clinical psychology, and holistic methodologies in the space of organizational development, executive coaching, and building sustainable models of transformation at a personal, team, and organizational level. He has been training in martial arts and the body arts like Alexander Technique and QI Gong for 25 years in arts in the last 16 years. His interests have shifted from competition to understanding the circularity of movements in the human body. Mr. Badhwar has also worked for years in training people in voice and style of language. Now, he trains people in leadership roles, actors, politicians, voiceover artists, etc. Mr. Badhwar has been a voiceover artist for over 18 years and often acts on stage in documentaries and short films. He wrote The Warrior's Path, an experiential inner awareness program that opens participants to alternative thought processes while in extremely arduous landscapes. He also runs a security organization, 3P Securitas, managing over 150 guards. In an otherwise unorganized and corrupt industry like private security, Mr. Vikram Badhwar strives hard to maintain the hard-earned reputation of being an ethical business provider. To such a dynamic and exceptional persona, we extend a hearty welcome once again.
Thank you so much. It's such a privilege. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I now request Mr. Vikram Badhwar to enlighten the students with his words of wisdom.
You know, when such big words are used, I get really scared. You know, a lot of my journey started because I didn't want to study. Yeah, and that is how, you know. And, ma'am introduced me as a martial artist. My journey as a martial artist really started at Delhi College, you know, or immediately after I left Delhi College. So I will take all of you through a few slides, and we're going to do this as an interactive session. So if you are on your laptops, do I have permission to share my screen?
Sure, sir. You can share the screen, sir.
I have to find the screen first. Just give me a second. So, can you all see my screen? What I'd like you all to do is please go on to this website called menti.com, everyone, and use the code 6505289. 6505289. Go to menti.com and use the code 6505289. Just give me a second. I'm just going to go over there again. Yeah. So just go on to menti.com and use the code 6505289. You will see a heart sign or a thumbs up sign over there. So just click on that so that we know that everyone is logged in. Very nice. Show us your love. Everyone needs love, not only just the students, but the teachers, the faculty. Thank you very much. Yeah. Very good. Quickly log in, go to menti.com, use the code 6505289. Show us your hearts, show us your thumbs ups. Very good. Yeah, absolutely. Very nice. Do you see a lot of hearts coming, everyone? And lots of thumbs ups coming. Yeah. You're able to see the screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So we just let everyone log in.
Sure.
This is a fantastic tool called Mentimeter. For those who don't know, yeah, it's an online presentation tool. It's an anonymous online presentation tool. So, yeah, and we're going to ask you some questions. You will answer, and then we'll take it forward. Okay, so quickly going to move forward. Why is this not happening? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I think my presentation is stuck. I will try it again. Okay, so just want to let you know a little bit about myself. I'm an old Dalian. I passed out 1997 from Delhi College. I've essentially created a space for myself, working in my core skill is communication skills. I allow people, or I show people ways in which they can make their voices larger, not louder. I do a lot of experiential interventions. I'm one of the first people in the country to really bring in experiential education to the country. First set of trainers which were created. I'm a big fan of positive psychology as compared to conventional psychology, because I realized that as we start growing up, the whole world will keep telling us about things that we are bad at. Yeah. And if you've not heard it, don't worry, you will, everyone, very soon. So so the whole idea is to be able to talk about strengths, to be able to talk about all the things which actually give you energy rather than take away energy. So I'm going to play a little video for you guys. Yeah, it shows a little bit about the work that I do. Has a lot of adventure. And I think from the video, one of the first lessons, one of the first things that I would like to share with all of you youngsters is, yes, you're here for the induction, you're here to study your BBA. However, it is very important to be able to derive energy from spaces other than just education, because that will add. And I will give you a few examples. Like, I met one of the very senior executives of an auditing firm called, I'm not actually allowed to name it's one of the top 5 auditing firms in the country. And I was talking to him a few years back, and he said something very interesting to me. Yeah, he is where professionally where you're supposed to reach. But he tells me, he says, irrespective of what time he comes back home, he will go and play football for 1 hour. He's 55 years old. Yeah, he will play football for 1 hour. I met another lady who's the learning and development head of another organization and based out of Bombay, and she is a sitar player. And irrespective of what time she gets in, she will play the sitar for an hour to practice. And I think that is the determining space. In 20 years of my working, I realized that is the game changer. So that, are you exercising your mind? Are you exercising your body? Are you exercising your heart? So we will talk about that. So I'm going to show you a little video. If you can just let me know if you can hear the sound. So this is a little video about some of the work that I do, and and how things got integrated. Hear the volume.
Can hear, sir.
So in theory, all these cultivation systems like Tai Chi, yoga, Falun Gong, they're spiritual systems. Yeah, they're not just for good health. Good health is the lowest level of gift that you can get. Just imagine what the highest level of gift could be. I came to Falun Gong in 2003. I'd heard about a martial system which was banned in China, and I often wondered why. I was introduced to this system by Iranian practitioners in Pune. I learned and I practiced and practiced and practiced. I've been fascinated by the three very simple yet profound principles of truthfulness, benevolence, and forbearance. And it's really difficult to sieve, to filter every act or thought through these, but it is definitely I strive to do that. I strive to do that.
Well, welcome to the matey's with you. You're rocking trophies of all the stats. You trophy number 4. This one is known as the Morning Glory.
Every time you question a certain diktat, a certain structure, you are allowing courage to flow into you. I have questioned a lot, and because of that questioning, I allowed myself to experience courage. Does not mean that I'm not scared. I am scared. I laugh every time I'm about to ride a rapid, but I have the courage.
It's all yours when you're ready.
Okay. There was a time that organizations were looking at individuals with high intellectual quotient, IQ. After a little period of time, there was this new buzzword which came in called emotional quotient. quite a Bollywood story. Beaten up by 20 boys, couldn't defend myself.
You were beaten up by 20 boys?
My own classmates, couldn't defend myself, felt extremely humiliated. So I joined a taekwondo class in the park. The year is 1996. I attend the class for 7 days, which is 3 classes, and then I give up because it was too hard. So my instructor, God bless his soul, came home on his motorcycle. I was sitting there in the evening with my father and mother, and he took off his belt and he whipped me. And my father and mother didn't say anything. And he said, you come in with your own choice, but you leave when I ask you to leave.
You got 15 years of experience, 10 years of experience, your certificates in your pocket, your educational degrees, all your achievements, whatever they may have been, will not work here. The hierarchical structure shuts down over here.
So I work as a communications coach. I end up working with very senior audiences in organizations.
Abundance in the heart leads to abundance outside. Scarcity in the heart will always lead to scarcity outside.
Making language into a physical issue rather than a socio-political issue.
Gently breathe in. As you breathe in, let the space between your palms increase. As you breathe out.
So the firewalk became a symbolic representation of confronting fear. This whole game of the amygdala. I've had the privilege of being one of the few firewalkers in 21st century India. Organizations today have realized that they want to hire people with what I call a high passion quotient. How passionate are you? And there are ways in which you describe passion. Passion is not a one-off, once a week, once in 10-day thing. You're passionate about something that you think of, you dream of, you fantasize about through the day. One of the strongest support systems that you can really have in your life is to have friends, and to have friends like my friends here. You need people who reverberate at the same energy as you or higher. I'm passionate about
we will send you a link in the thing. This is what I wanted to share with you, this whole idea of passion. It's really, really important that you have to figure out what your, and we're going to be talking about it somewhere else, what your ikigai is, what your reason to get up in the morning is, ladies and gentlemen, because I'll tell you why. In 2019, there was a report which came out called the India Skills Report. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not a pretty picture. And I'll tell you why. The India Skills Report, which has been made with McKinsey and Company and another organization called Talent Enterprise and a couple of other organizations and the government, when they came up with the India Skills Report, they said only 47.3% youth are employable, which we are saying 52.7% of the youth are actually unemployable, which is a very, very staggering number. There is something not right somewhere. Yeah, 63% employers don't feel that the people are hireable. 45% of youth feel prepared. 55% don't. And especially now that we are in the middle of a global health crisis, we are in the middle of a pandemic. There are so many people, so many plans that you would have made along with your parents, whether it's holiday, whether it is career plans, whether it is studying plans. Yeah, if you notice, everything has kind of gotten disrupted. Another very staggering number, over 70% youth are relying on family businesses and not wanting to try something new. Um, I have a question that I need you to think about, ladies and gentlemen. If we can't judge, and one of the basic flaws in the educational system that has been, and I can talk about it from before my time as well, which was 23 years back, was that you cannot judge people based on one common goal. If you judge everyone from how they're going to climb a tree, well, not too many people. The fish is not going to be able to climb the tree, and the monkey, and nobody except the monkey would, and maybe nobody else. So it is extremely unfair for ourselves to be judged, to judge ourselves, because not everyone is going to have the ability to do everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think one of the first lessons that you need to keep in mind is please be kind to yourself. And I think that is where the goal is. Please be kind. You have to be able to work at each other, at yourself at the level of strength. Do you know who this person on the top right screen is? Yeah, his name is Warren Buffett. Yeah, on the bottom left is Mark Zuckerberg. Now, they're both entrepreneurs. Yeah, they are both exactly what all of you or most of you are going to train yourself to be. Warren Buffett is traditionally a risk avoider. He does not take so many risks. Mark Zuckerberg, on the other side, is a risk taker. Just imagine if they switch places. Just imagine if Warren Buffett becomes a risk taker where he's been risk averse for all the years of his doing business, and suddenly Mark Zuckerberg says, nahi, ab nahi karna, yeah, or I will be more careful. Will they be able to play out to their strengths? Yeah, if the answer, yeah, will they be able to play out to their strengths? The answer is no. People need to play out to their strengths. Parents need to understand that they need to allow an opportunity for their children. Colleges do, and I know I've had a lot of conversations with Dr. Sodhya, and it's so gratifying to actually understand that here we are in a space at DCPM. We are in a space of really fostering that talent, and there are going to be some skills that each one of you will need, which the college is going to offer to you, but it will also give you an opportunity to holistically grow yourself. That, ladies and gentlemen, becomes your responsibility as well. Yeah, and you have to be able to play to your own strengths rather than the other person's strengths. Yeah, this is a new world. There are new rules. It is your choice. Another thing, it will always be your choice. Whenever you are given an opportunity, whenever there is a crisis, it is up to you. And a lot of you come from entrepreneurial families. Yeah, learn from the parents of how they were able to thrive in a space of, we are in a space of 6 months. There was no work, no business. Things had shut down. How did we survive? That is what you need to learn. How did people do business when everything else had shut down? So what is this new world, and what are the new rules? That is what you need to figure out. And I will take you through, some of the things that you need to keep in mind. One of the first things, please, you have to talk about your strengths. You have to understand what your strengths are, because a lot of times, अगर मच्छी को पेड़ चढ़ना सिखाएंगे तो कोई फायदा नहीं है. Because अगर मच्छी को तैरना है तो उसको सिर्फ तैरना ही है, उसको पेड़ नहीं चढ़ा सकते. So there was that Three Idiots wala movie that you would have seen, where the photographer is where the guy wants to become a photographer, but he's being made an engineer. Yeah, and that just makes for unhappy people. And you do not, ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to be in that space of being unhappy, because that emotion is in your control. So you have to really understand. So now I have a question for all of you. Please, for those of you who have not logged in, go on to menti.com, use the code 6505289 and answer this question that you're seeing on your screen. How have you tackled the last few months to keep yourself occupied? You will have space, so please answer the question. Go on to, you can answer multiple times. So please go on to this question, to this page. If you're finding it difficult, once again, go to menti.com, use the code 6505289 and answer this question. Nobody is logged in, because you can see that on the bottom right. 2 people have logged in. 2 people have answered. Learning new skills, spending quality time with family. Great. Home workout, learned new language, French. That's fantastic. I try to involve myself in things I usually don't do. And this is actually such a fantastic thing, because, as you will notice that habits restrict learning. As soon as something becomes a habit, you need to be able to change it. You need to learn, and then you need to be able to learn a little bit more to let go of this learning. Helped others in need, learned how to bake bread. I'm also learning how to bake bread. I'm actually learning how to make my own yeast, which is more important than baking bread. Did a lot of hooping, learned about teas, started a tea business. Wow, I'm a big fan of teas, especially the South African Rooibos tea, which is a red tea, very good as an antioxidant. Worked on hobbies and health. Fantastic. Helped my father to grow his business. That's a great idea. Reading self-help books, spending time with family, doing meditation sometimes. That's a great start. I played the guitar. I was enhancing my strumming skills and giving time to physique and mental health. I've been playing various types of sports and going to gym regularly. I have worked hard on my physique, and it was a really nice experience. And you will notice, ask yourself, where there are a bunch of people who are just surviving, what did you do, or what did you learn where you were not only surviving, but you were thriving? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of your key learnings of being an entrepreneur. When everything is going not very great, what pushed you to survive and then thrive? Yeah. Started stock trading and read new books. Fantastic. Somebody has to explain me what punting means. It's such a funny word, but I've never understood that. Doing some designing work, like making designs of a room or a 2-point perspective design of a building. That's lovely. Learning new skills, attending online courses of interest. Udemy is a great format. Oh, I'm a musician. I like to pursue the genre rap and hip hop. I focused more on the writing part of my songs and made out some great lyrics, focused on some more aspects of making my own music, and ultimately got to learn a lot. That is fantastic. I have kept my sanity by doing crash courses online, also started doing gymnastics. I've spent most of the time dancing my heart out. Oh, that's so lovely to hear or read. I've always loved being in front of the camera, so I ordered a tripod, recorded videos containing new dance routines, some of my own, some of the other people. I've also given time to self-introspection. Got a job in Canada and worked upon my fitness and living my dreams. Read a lot of books. I worked upon my game skills, learning new language, started cooking, baking, done Coursera courses from IBM, PwC, and Yale. Very nice. So that's so amazing that each one of you, or a lot of you, or most of you, have used this time to be able to upskill yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because one of the things that you will need to do now onwards is you cannot be, you know, वो घोड़े के सामने ऐसे flaps होते हैं, वो उसका समय खत्म हो गया है. You know, and it is not really about, you know, that this is all I'm going to do and that is about it. No, this is not that time. Yeah, this is the time where you pick up skills and you demonstrate that skills, because that is extremely important. Yeah. Moving on. So how do you thrive in today's world? I think that is extremely important, you know, because I really believe, and for the last 6 months, it's, you know, I'm an entrepreneur and I run 2 businesses. I run a security organization and I run a learning and development organization. Just to share, these were the toughest 6 months of my life. Where my learning and development organization is concerned, I just took a back seat in saying, okay, iska waqt nahi hai. And I think as an entrepreneur, it is very important to be able to take a call at that point and saying, what is to be done now? But in the security organization, we came under essential services. There are 2 acts which came in play. One was called the Essential Services Management, Essential Services and Maintenance Act, ESMA, and the Disaster Management Act, which essentially meant that we were given powers like soldiers. And we had to really, for me, leadership really was demonstrated as doing small things, you know, picking up my own security guards at 6:30 in the morning, taking them to places where they're supposed to be deployed for duties. Really, leadership happened in very, very small aspects. Do not look for, you know, big fairy or airy fairy achievements. You know, really success is governed by the small things which happen, not in the big things which happen. Yeah. So I have another question for all of you. Are you taking care of your body, mind, and heart? So please log on to Menti. Yeah, you will see the screen has changed. Are you taking care of your body, mind, and heart? Yeah. Very nice. Please, I need everyone to answer this question. Log on to that. So nice to see people are taking care of all 3. Some people said, you know, body more, heart more, mind more. Yeah, please, I want to see all those answers. I want to see all of you. Please recognize this is an anonymous tool. So, well, you know, we will not know who has answered. So please give us your answers. This is also important for us as DCBM to actually know what are the things that we can give to all of you in the course of the year. How can we support all of you? Because like I said, when I was talking to Dr. Sisodia and over many conversations, I've realized that DCBM is not only just about the course, but it's also about fostering you know, your talent and your skills. So only 44 people have answered. I need other people. Very nice. 46 people. Very nice. Very nice. 47 people, but weren't there 64? Yeah. Come on. I will urge all the teachers also to put all the faculty that also there.
We are doing already done.
Already done. That's fantastic. See, one of the things that I really feel while each one of you is answering that question, that whenever one has to learn something, I think there are three things that you need to keep in mind. You need to, well, above these three things, you have to look at the whole idea of consumption. Yeah. Are you eating right? Are you thinking right? Are you feeling right? I think it is so important to have कि आप खा क्या रहे हो, सोच क्या रहे हो, और क्या महसूस कर रहे हो. And this is the, a lot of people only take care of their health at the level of physical consumption. No, that's not good enough. You could be eating the healthiest of food, and you could be eating your avocados and fancy salads and whatnot. But if your heart is not in the right place, and if your mind is jumbled up, the body is not going to respond. And you will realize over a period of time what one little exercise. So may I request each one of you to take your hand over here and press this part very hard. Yeah. And notice where a little imprint is left. That is inflammation. Yeah. So just press this. You see a little imprint which is left. That is inflammation. And inflammation essentially means that the acidity levels in your body are high. When your acidity levels in the body are high, you're basically creating an environment of unlearning. You're creating a carcinogenic, a cancerous environment, and that needs to be avoided. Okay, so moving on. Now, I have another question for all of you. So what skills do you need to thrive in the new world? And this is the new world. The rules of engagement have changed. So what skills do you need to thrive in the new world? Think about this. We'll spend a little bit of time on this slide. Yeah, what skills do you need to thrive in the new world? What do you want to learn? And this is the effort, ladies and gentlemen, that DCBM is making. We want to know this information. Communication skills is one. Very good. Only one person. And communication skills, again, very nice. Digitally compatible adaptability to change, learning different languages, coding, very nice. 4 people have answered. Handling pressure, confidence, financial planning. As adults, I can also say I need quite a few of these. Financial planning for sure. Keeping your focus on one thing, very, very important. Taking care of your mental health, self-sufficiency, and evolving, survival of the fittest. There's a whole story around survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest does not mean कि मैं दूसरे को पीछे छोड़कर आगे जाऊंगा. Yeah. And today, again, new world, new rules. Vocabulary, multitasking. Multitasking is a hoax. Yeah. There's enough research which has happened around the world which says that multitasking does not do anything. You know, you cannot use 2 parts of your brain at the same time. Multitasking essentially means that you're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Enough research which says when you are able to concentrate on one skill at one time, then you are able to do it. You're able to do multiple tasks faster and with better efficiency. Skills to adapt, overcome, and thrive. Concentration, confidence, mental health. Sports wants to become more empathetic, to think of future and make plans of what to do next. Entrepreneurial skills, you're in the right college. Creativity, and creativity comes from inside. Adaptability, skills, flexibility. You're like I said, at DCBM, we will teach you all of this. Decision making is such an integral part of entrepreneurship. Yeah, willing to explore, adapting to change, taking care of your mental and physical health, being digitally literate, very, very important, building new hobbies and learning. So this is really interesting. You know, a lot of small businesses which are functioning in Delhi, which have been functioning in the traditional sense. In the last 6 months, we did a couple of webinars. We spoke to a lot of people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and pushing them to go digital. And there was such a resistance saying, nahi, 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 ऐसे काम चलता आ रहा है और चलता रहेगा, नहीं, नहीं चल पाएगा. To be able to take that push forward, really think digital agility, very, very important. Building new hobbies and learning to enjoy in your own little space. Introverts really are at an advantage during this pandemic stage. Yes, also, but this is also the time for reflection. This is also the time to really look within. This is not the time to go out. Yeah, physically as well as mentally as well as emotionally. Yeah, technology management, cognitive flexibility and creativity. Use technology at your best. Introspection. We only have 36 people who have answered. Come on, all those people, you know, in the webinar world, or in the मीटिंग वर्ल्ड वी कॉल देम कि चाय पीने गए हैं. सो अगर चाय पीने गए हो तो प्लीज वापस आ जाओ. Yeah, and yeah, let's have you answer. Decision making, technology, again. Only 37 people have answered. Come on, we have 64 people. Mayur sir, how many participants do we have? 77 participants we have. Calmness. Assertiveness and equanimity. Break it up. Break it up into small things. You know, what does it mean? Yeah. One thing I've learned as a communications, the world calls me an expert, but, you know, I've just tried to understand the patterns of communication for the last 20 years. And I just realized that keep it simple. The fancy words, fancy communication has zero value. Eventually, the aim of communication is to understand and be understood. Very simple. Full stop. School mein bolte the golden words are not repeated. No, they should be repeated. Because if they're golden, then they need to be heard. Yeah. Dance therapy. This concept prevails in many Western countries. Just to let you know, it also prevails in India. There's an organization called CMTAI, Creative Movement Therapy Association in India. It is run by a fantastic dancer, very senior dancer called Tripura Kashyap. Yeah, so she's the person to get in touch with online. Okay, so 44 people have answered. Yeah, so please understand, once I switch the screen, then you will not be able to answer. So why don't we take another 30 seconds and really log in. Jo chai peene ke liye gaye hue hain, वापस आ जाइए, please. Embracing lifelong learning and maintaining balance between social life. कहाँ है ये social life? Yeah, 6 महीने से we all at home. So where is the social life? Okay, moving on. I have another question for you. What is the role of good communication skills? It is one of the most सब हाँ में हाँ मिलाते हैं communication skills के लिए. Everyone is saying, yeah, communication skills are really important and so on and so forth. So I will tell you something, you know, when I was at Daily College, I was a debater, I was an elocutionist, I spoke well, I come from an army background, so a lot of emphasis was given on clarity, on voice, on diction, on enunciation and so on and so forth. So I always wore that, you know, कि हम अंग्रेजी अच्छी बोलते हैं. Yeah, so much so that मेरे classmates Daily College में मुझे चिढ़ाते थे कि तू अंग्रेज है. Yeah, and which was quite interesting. And then, you know, I attended college in Delhi, and then I joined an organization called General Electric's, GE, in 99, 2000. That was one of the biggest multinational organizations that you could attend, and by far and I've had the privilege of working in multiple organizations as an entrepreneur, as a consultant, and I got trained by somebody who I eventually called my mentor, a gentleman called Dr. Arjun Raina. And I attended his training. The first day I entered, I was 20 minutes late, so mujhe us pe dant pit gayi. And one of the first things he told me was, Mr. Badhwar, you don't know how to speak English. And it broke me. It really broke me because I was like, "Arey, हमने ये करा है, हमने यहाँ debate करा है, हमने वहाँ debate करा है," you know, that little arrogance that comes in sometimes for no rhyme or reason. So I was really hurt. But you know, one of the things that I have learned very early in my life, if you want to criticize me, do that and then teach me. Because if you are not able to teach me, then you do not have a right to criticize. So then I learned with him, and he taught at the Royal Shakespeare Society, and he studied over there. There was this book that we followed. So whoever wants to learn good voice, good communication skills, there is the book by a lady called Cecily Berry, and she wrote a book called The Voice and the Actor. Must read it, download it, buy it. Great stuff. So yes, so you like everyone is answering. Well, actually, only 19 people have answered. Come on, all the newcomers. We need to see what you've got. But what is the role of good communication skills? Yes, it helps you build personality. You can get real friends, but I think real friends happen in the depth of communication, not just in the context of communication. To express ourselves, it helps you articulate your thoughts in a manner that it can be comprehended well by receptors. To build personal contact, sends the right message. You get what you want. That only happens when you play the game. And when I refer to communication as a game, one of the worst, and a lot of people might get really upset with me in the training fraternity because everyone loves to use this phrase. But one of the worst phrases that we can use is go with the flow. Because you're talking to a rafter, like you saw one of my videos, the video I showed you in the beginning. Go with the flow. If you go with the flow, you will get bounced around rocks and you will flip your boat and you may drown. The real skill, ladies and gentlemen, the real skill and the real is to be able to play that game. And that game is of communication. The real skill on the river is to go either faster or slower than the current. And that is when you are able to maneuver. So please, just go with the flow. We use phrases in our head which actually they sound good, but they don't do anything. So please do not go with the flow. If you want to succeed, and you want to succeed on your own, and there's a term for that. The term is autodidactic. So if you want to be an autodidactic, you will have to really paddle faster or slower than the current. Super important for each one of you to understand this. Sending the right message, be a good listener. Yes. Just because just because all of you are listening to me does not mean that you have to agree with even a single thing. But the least you can do in this process of communication is to listen. You don't have to agree with me, but all you can do is listen. And that is very, very important, that you start listening. And that is why nature has given us one mouth and two ears. And I'm sure you would have heard this before as well, but it's a fact. And if you have that ability to listen, you will have the ability to be empathetic, and you will have the ability to be sensitive. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what is required in today's world, is to have that ability to be sensitive, to be sensitized to the other person's needs. Because one of the worst concepts that we have kind of grown up with is कि भाई सूरज हमारे यहाँ से ही उगता है. The sun does not rise from behind me. The sun does not rise from anywhere else's behind. The sun rises, is up in the sky. It actually doesn't even rise. We go round and round and round. And these are the certain realities that we will have to eventually start embracing. Yeah, because at this point of time, a lot of us come from a very privileged space. Our parents have spoilt us silly, and they've supported us. They've supported our idiosyncrasies. They've supported everything. Yeah, but for how long? For how long? There will be a time when you will have to start taking decisions about your own life, not just business, but about your own life. And that nobody is going to spoon feed you. That's not going to happen. You will have to understand that you will have to equip yourself with these skills. All right. So just moving on. This is one of my favoritist one-line phrase that please, there is no point. I want you to think about the last time you were with a loud person who was just very loud. Yeah. How did that affect your listening? How did that affect your mood? How did that affect your mental space? Yeah. So if I had to come over here and say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, after a little while, you will not be able to hear. But all I'm doing over here is just opening, and I'm going to shift the screen to show you where you need to concentrate. This is the spot. This is your diaphragm. And as soon as you can open this up, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to create a certain largeness in your voice. And please understand, a large voice is an attractive voice. A loud voice is not an attractive voice. Unfortunately, this was something, the opposite of which I actually learned while I was in school. Yeah, people were not smiling. It was 70s में एक Amitabh Bachchan की picture आई थी, and then India was introduced to the image of the angry young man. And, everyone used to stand against the wall with their hands crossed like this. And everyone had a very sullen expression on their faces. And everyone thought it was cool. It was not. Tell me, would you rather have a smiling face or a sullen face? I don't think I even need an answer for that. Everyone likes a smiling face. Just imagine if you wake up in the morning and you go and you look at your brother or your sister or your parents, and suddenly everyone is like, or yeah, you will also wonder कि क्या हुआ है यहाँ पे. Yeah. ये बहुत जरूरी एक point है. And unfortunately, I've had the opportunity of working across tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. There is a certain sense of exclusion. Yeah, कि हम ही हैं. And ये मैंने इंदौर में भी देखा है थोड़ा सा. Yeah, there was this whole very racial space कि अगर हम राजपूत हैं या अगर हम अग्रवाल हैं या अगर हम जैन हैं. So, there was this, and something I really experienced in the 90s. Please stay away from, and I really call it, pardon my French, but it's a lot of bullshit, because eventually, after a little while, it doesn't make a difference कि आपकी जात क्या है, आपका काम क्या है, but eventually people will understand is कि are you a good person? Are you a person with whom, if I can sit down for 10 minutes to have a conversation, कि आप मेरे पे भारी तो नहीं पड़ोगे? Yeah, and that is very important. We are all a part of the same ecosystem. This whole thought process that you and I are different, that is not. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can.
So just give me a second. Yeah. So I think because my lights just went off for a second, so my internet might falter. Yeah, but sorry, Sonal ma'am, can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, so I think one of the things that we have to really understand that, ladies and gentlemen, we are all connected, and we are all connected at the core. Not you. We might be doing different things. Sonal ma'am is the principal. Yeah, there are other people on this discussion on this panel who might be different. They look different. They behave different. But at the level of the deepest positive intention, we all are the same. हम सबको प्यार चाहिए, हम सबको इज्जत चाहिए, हम सबको acceptance चाहिए, हम सबको validation चाहिए, and these are the things that we need for ourselves. So please think inclusive and be accepting of people. Be accepting that there are different kinds of people who will come. Alag alag soch hai. There are different people who will come with who look different, whose sexual orientations are different. All of you are young adults. A lot of you would be going through a lot of shifts in the body. So some of you might be inclined to being gay, and does not really mean that we are excluded. We are actually a part of one ecosystem. Yeah, and that is very, very important for you to understand, that we are all in this together, especially this pandemic. We are all in the same storm. We are in different boats, but we are all in the same storm. So if you are in the same storm, the science says and logic says ki saath raho. Yeah. And this notion, please break this notion that you are different from anyone. You might be talented, you might be more talented or less talented, but at the level of the deepest positive intention, you are the same. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very important. That, how many of you know Ellen DeGeneres? Yeah, very successful anchor.
Yes.
She's gay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, she's married.
Married to Portia.
Married to a lady. She is yeah. But when you look at her, like there's no like, oh, I'm gay symbol on her. Yeah, we live in a country where we are obsessed with gorapan. कि जी बच्चे आपके गोरे होने चाहिए. Yeah, just look at this lady. I would skip in a heartbeat just looking at her. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Yeah. And she's black. Or she's of African descent. But look at the way we deal with our own. We don't even have to look beyond the Indian shores. India is such a diverse country that we have people of all different shapes, sizes, colors, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and one has to be accepting. Just because aap gore ho, ya thode se jada gore ho, does not make you does not guarantee anything. It doesn't. It guarantees zero. Yeah, what eventually matters is not even how skilled you are. Yeah, what would matter eventually, ladies and gentlemen, is, are you a sensitive, empathetic, appreciative person? Yeah, and these are skills, like I keep repeating when I've been talking to Dr. Sodia, she's been saying that these are the spaces that DCBM wants to cultivate, needs to foster, but a lot of this work has to come from you itself. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we need to be more accepting, I think. Yes.
There is no other option, Sonal ma'am. There is no other option. We have to allow ourselves. Yeah. Just looking at the uniform of these kids come from maybe a lower income group. Yeah. But paisa har cheez hai kya? Yeah. This is a beautiful moment of laughter. This is a beautiful moment of happiness. It doesn't really matter कि उनके पास कितने पैसे हैं, या अगर लंदन गए हॉलिडे के लिए, या ये यहाँ XYZ कि मुझे इतना पैसा खर्चना है. Happiness is all here. It's all in your heart, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, and you will realize that at some point of time, these are the things, because you will have to skill yourself. There is no other option to it. You will have to skill yourself. Yeah. But how is that skill going to be used, and who's going to hire that skill, or how will you provide value for with that skill of yours? Yeah, that depends on how kind you are, how loving you are, how open to communication you are, and how respectful you are to each other. कन्वेंशनल एजुकेशन सिस्टम बोलता है कि अपनी गलतियां छुपाओ. Yeah, and that is the conventional thought process. Yeah, and that is why we love to pass the blame. I'd give you an example. You want to go and buy a washing machine. Yeah, when you go into the shop, when you go into an online store, when you call up a call center and says, listen, I want to buy a washing machine, the salespeople will get after you and saying, ha, aap ye khareediye, acha, aap ye wala lijiye, take this, take that, and so on and so forth. Yeah, as soon as you buy it, and in a week, some problem happens, yeah, then you call up that person and say, please talk to customer service. Acha, ye mere department mein nahi aata hai. Oh, this is not my code, my responsibilities, and so on and so forth. And what does it do to you as a customer? It spoils your entire experience. It spoils your entire experience of purchase. Please recognize that as entrepreneurs, your responsibility is not only at the level of the transaction. It goes beyond that level of the transaction. या ऑफ की मैंने मेरे पास चीज है, मैंने बेची, आपने खरीदी और ट्रांजैक्शन क्लोज हुआ नहीं. या द your aim as an entrepreneur is that you become the one-stop shop. And that, ladies and gentlemen, so when somebody in my learning and development organization, for a few customers, I become the one-stop shop. So if somebody wants to do a technical training, which I don't do, I'm a soft skills, behavior, leadership, communication trainer. But if somebody wants to do a technical training, a skill-based training, then they will call me up and saying, hey, Vikram, can you recommend somebody? Because they know that if it comes from me, that person will be, at least the vetting system has happened. So please, and one of how this happens is when you are able to accept your vulnerabilities, when you're able to accept that there are some things that you're not good at. You have to accept that I don't know this. And you have to have the ability to say no. Yeah, because a lot of us don't have that ability to say no, and we will tire ourselves out, we will exhaust ourselves, and that is extremely, extremely important that we do not do that. Yeah, vulnerabilities is strength. Yeah, I'll repeat it again. Make this into your mantra. Vulnerability is strength. What you need to learn is kiske samne you allow yourself to be vulnerable. Yeah, that is what you need to learn. Yeah, is who do you expose your vulnerability to? And when you meet somebody or a bunch of people that you feel that you can be vulnerable with, yeah, showcase that vulnerability. And it takes a little bit of time, but people will be able to connect with you really at a deep, authentic level. And जब मैं ये बहुत लेट सीखा हूँ, मैं 40 साल का हूँ, but I have realized that in today's day and time, I'm only interested in connecting with people that I can connect with at a deep, authentic level. I have no patience to connect with, or I have no inclination to connect with others. And it is a self-preservation space. I'm not doing anyone a favor. It is how I want to, or the kind of energies that I want to portray. Okay. इसका एक तरीका है. ये मैंने फॉर्मूला 2007 में बनाया था. And I always spoke about freedom, and I'm like, what is this freedom? And why can't I get what I want, and so on and so forth, an internal thing. I realized one of the things which I need to take care of for myself is to be in a space of gratitude. That is very important. How many of us, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, and all the youngsters and the adults who are on this talk, how many of us end up saying very simple thank you to our parents and saying thank you for supporting me, thank you for listening to all my weird ideas, thank you for thank you for accepting that I'm not easy to be with all the time. Yeah, we take our mothers for granted. It's the most thankless job that exists. Her day in and day out, our mothers who are will take care of us, whether they're homemakers, whether they're business people, whether have a job. They take care of us. They take care of their families. Yeah, our fathers who will very quietly. Please understand, it is such a pain to be a man in today's world because we're always playing a role. We are always playing a role of being the right husband, right, right brother, right lover, right boyfriend, right husband, blah blah blah. All these kinds of things. Our fathers who have kept quiet through all this madness to ensure that हमारी दो वक्त की रोटी हमारे टेबल पर मिले. Yeah, this deserves, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you. So what I would like you all to do, and if you agree, I want you to press on that heart button. What I would like you all to do is when you go home, or well, you are home, but after this call or when you get a little bit of time, go to your parents, go to your mother, go to your father, go to your sister, go to your brother, go to that bhaiya who works in your house or that didi who works in your house and who gets you chapatis at the table, who feeds you, especially the cook, yeah, who makes the food. Just say thank you. Just that is required. And make sure that you look at them in the eye for at least 2 seconds. Let that thank you be conveyed. Let that thank you be conveyed from your heart. Yeah. So please, each one of you, yeah, please, I want to know that you will do this. So please click on that heart button. Yeah. And ask for forgiveness. Yeah. There is a lot of एक उर्दू का शब्द है बरकत. Yeah. और जब आप किसी से बात करते हो, इज्जत से बात करते हो, तो उसमें बहुत बरकत है. जब आप किसी को बोल सकते हो कि ठीक है, I hold this little grudge against you, yeah, but I forgive you. Yeah, freedom is equal to gratitude plus forgiveness. Yeah, and ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. थोड़ा forgiveness part थोड़ा tough है because we try to hold on to all kinds of stories in our head. Yeah, but hey, you have to understand that जब आप किसी forgiveness, जब आप किसी के साथ कुछ बैर बना के रखते हो तो एक ऐसी knot बन जाती है. Yeah, and somewhere our ability to untie that knot will also determine the quality of our lives. Are you the person who likes to tie knots, or are you the person who likes to work at unknotting yourself? That is a question, ladies and gentlemen, you need to ask yourself. Now for this, I would like you all to please switch on your cameras. Yeah, I would like you all to please switch on your cameras for this.
Naman sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Please give the permission
ma'am,
to start video.
It's actually granted to everyone. Sir has to stop the screen so the cameras are visible.
Okay, so I will stop the screen over here because I know this by heart. Oh.
Yes, ma'am. Now everyone will be visible.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm going to teach you something.
I can't start my video, Naman sir.
Ma'am, now start.
Okay, I'll just try.
Just hold it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So everyone there? Yeah. Show me a thumbs up to say everyone is there. Yeah. Can I also get a smile? This reminds me like I'm on a funeral march over here. Yeah. No. Come on. Can I have everyone smile here, people? Thank you very much. Okay. So, where is Mayur sir? Mayur sir, you and I.
He had an important meeting, admin meeting at DC. So he's just left a message, and he'll get back to you.
Okay. So then the second person I know for the longest over here is Surbhi ma'am. So Surbhi, don't run away.
I'm here. I called my daughter also. I wanted to see what you're going to do.
Okay.
Hi, Adya.
Hi.
So Surbhi, I'm going to show somebody, I'm going to show each one, something called the 5-minute miracle. Yeah. And then we will all do it together. Is that all right? Yeah. Can we have a thumbs up? Perfect. So Surbhi ma'am. Yeah. So just put yourself off mute because you and I need to talk.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do we do for this? We fold our hands. Yeah. And it's not the weak ji namaste. Yeah. It's you fold your hands. Yeah. And we will all repeat. Just repeat after me. The highest in me.
The highest in me.
The highest in me.
Bows to the highest in you.
Bows to the highest in you.
Repeat it. The highest in me.
The highest
in me.
Bows to the highest in you.
Bows to the
highest in you.
And anything that I might have said or done.
And anything that I might have said or done.
In the last 1 hour.
In the last 1 hour.
If it has hurt you.
If it has hurt you.
I ask for your forgiveness.
I ask for your forgiveness.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. Yeah. So what we will do is I will send this to Sonal ma'am as a slide. Yeah. So and I'd like you all. So please, each and every person who's over here, just let's fold our hands. Yeah. And just repeat after me. Even if we can, just do it for yourselves, but repeat after me loudly. Yeah. The highest in me.
The highest in me.
Bows to the highest in you.
Bows to the highest in you.
And anything that I might have said or done in the last 1 hour.
And anything that I might have said or done in last 1 hour.
If it has hurt you.
If it has hurt you.
That might have hurt you.
I ask for your forgiveness.
I ask
for your forgiveness.
And so it is.
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 And so.
And so it is.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. I think this is a good start. This is a good start. Now, I would like you all, so we're going to open this up on, sir, can you just enable the chat?
The chat is enabled, sir.
Now it is enabled.
Okay. It says chat disabled for me. Koi baat. So what we can do is, may I, any questions that you might have at this point of time? I think that is really, really important. Yeah. Anything that you would like to ask, just you can actually put it in the chat, or what I can also do is, if you go back to Menti, you can also ask the questions on Mentimeter as well. So you can just ask the questions and they will come over here. If you feel you're comfortable in just asking a question without typing it out, please feel free to do that.
Sir, everyone can start chatting now. Sir, can you try the chat, please?
Can I try the chat?
Yeah, it is enabled. It is enabled. Chat is now enabled.
Now the chat is enabled.
Yeah.
So please feel free, ask your questions. You can do it on Mentimeter. You can do it on the Zoom chat. My colleague Vipin is behind me, so he can you can give him the link of the PQ video. So you can put it over here.
Students, please, whatever your doubts, queries, observations, comments.
Super important to be able to ask your questions. The trick is not in finding the answers. The trick lies in asking the right questions. Yeah.
Because I have a question.
Okay. I can't see you, hear you.
You can't see me? The video, yeah, can you see me now?
Yes, sir. My request is just say your name out and.
This is Manocha Chaudhary. I'm asking you a question.
Okay, Surbi, yeah, tell me.
This, and see, you were talking about a lot of culture and religion, but we can pick up the good things in all the religions that are, because we have to be a citizen of the world. We do not need to kind of relate to a cult or a particular religion, follow it. But yeah, so like you spoke about forgiveness, and Sonal ma'am, she knows very well. Their religion has this annual ceremonial thing wherein they ask for forgiveness.
Yes, we do.
And it's a very good thing, and people have now started following it. Even Archies has started making cards. So it's a very good thing. But you know what? At the age, the students that we're talking to, probably kids 18, 19 years of age, at their age, what should they do? What should they practice so that forgiveness becomes a part of their lifestyle? Because, you know, at that age, we think the world is revolving around us. It's not easy. I have done that mistake when I was a young girl. It wasn't easy for me to forgive people, and I would carry vengeance for years. And obviously, I was carrying baggage that wasn't required. So, what should we make a part of our daily routine so that we can practice forgiveness?
Thank you. It's a very valid question, and I'll the answer to this. Yeah, I come from a space of doing stuff. I come from a martial space. Yeah. So when you ask me a question that what should I do to be able to forgive more, or to make forgiveness a part of my culture, yeah, I go to I go to Edward Bono's 8 Thinking Caps, and I essentially talk about, if you want to forgive more, then you need to practice how to forgive more, then you need to forgive more. But I think forgiveness is not momentary. It's not कि अच्छा मैंने अभी forgive कर दिया, कल मैं फिर दोबारा गुस्सा हो जाऊंगा. Yeah, so and that is why forgiveness is a slow process. Yeah, and one just needs to be able to. We have to rid ourselves of this addiction of misery. Please understand that a lot of us are also addicted to misery. Yeah, and that is extremely important. Yeah, but it's a very good question, Surbi. Somebody's asked, what is the key to effective communication? Please listen. The highest level of communication is silence. The highest level of movement, yeah, is stillness. Can you find that silence and stillness within you? And this is not a philosophical statement. They're actually, as a theater practitioner for the last 20 years, one of the things which are the toughest to do is to shut up. Because when we don't, for us, the traditional sense is अगर चुप बैठे हुए हैं तो मतलब बेवकूफ है. नहीं, अगर चुप बैठे हुए हो. I'll give you an example. I went for my 20 years back when I joined GE. When I joined GE, there was a group discussion, and in that group discussion, people were basically cockfights होती है ना, मुर्गे लड़ते हैं. So वो मुर्गे और मुर्गियां लड़ी जा रहे थे एक घंटे के लिए. Yeah, and I kept quiet for 45 minutes out of that. Yeah, it's only after 45 minutes, because I listened, I also saw what the interesting points were, and I topped that GD because I came in right at the end and saying, so what you're trying to say is this, and I made a very interesting point. So listen, very, very important. Yeah, how to channelize energies to the tasks at hand. I'm a sports person struggling with energy diffusion. So as a sports person myself, yeah, I have realized that you have to start taking care of your body. Yeah, when you're talking about energy diffusion, you need to be slightly more clear about what is it that you're looking at. Are you getting tired faster, or are you not able to concentrate? There is a fantastic book called Finding Your Ikigai, and it is really about finding, and it talks a lot about sports people, of how they find their purpose. Yeah, and what do they see, how do they seek this purpose via sports. There's a very nice book called one sec, I will show it to you. This was one of my favoriteest books called Born to Run. Yeah, and Born to Run is by an author called Christopher McDougall. Yeah, read his book. Yeah, it really will change your perspective towards sports, towards exercise, towards fitness. Yeah. Uh, how can we avoid overthinking? By stopping to overthink. Overthinking is an addiction. Please understand that. In fact, yesterday I was reading an article on this, on why people are addicted to overthinking. You cannot be thrashing yourself and thrashing others in your head all the time. Yeah, there are no rules to it कि अच्छा अगर ये होगा तभी I will stop overthinking. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, you want to avoid overthinking. You have to allow yourself to be in the moment. There's a very simple, very nice grounding exercise that we do, is when your mind is thinking, you just come back to the sound of the breath and just come into your moment, into the present. What does overthinking means? Overthinking means कि आप ना अभी इस point पे नहीं हो, आप या तो past में हो या future में हो, या और अपने आप को पीटी जा रहे हो, and you cannot allow yourself to do that. Yeah, you are. So one of the first things, as soon as your mind is going all over the place, come into the moment, activate your breath, and come into the moment. Very, very important. Should I try to become my K-pop idol, or is that wrong? Should I just follow them and not lose myself in the process of becoming like them? You can be inspired. There is, yeah, you can be inspired. Please allow yourself to be inspired. Please don't allow yourself to change who you are to become something that you are not. Yeah, and that is very, very important. कि आप अपने आप को इतना change ना, it's nice to bend your back, don't break it. Yeah, so if you want to become your K-pop idol, you want to become like, you want to possess the skill like your K-pop idol. You don't want to become the K-pop idol because you don't know what the K-pop idol is, what his or her life is all about, the struggles his or her. Maybe you do not have the capacity to take care of the same struggles that your K-pop idol. So please be very careful, ladies and gentlemen, for what you ask for. Because the universe is listening, and universe will give you what you want, and then you might not know how to handle it. So you don't want to become your K-pop idol. Might want to aspire to have the same skill as that person. Yeah, so वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. In today's times, we as teenagers face the constant pressure of being judged. We share our thoughts on social media and we fear being judged. How can we cope up with that pressure? It's an interesting one. Yeah. What are you sharing? That is a question that you need to ask yourself. Yeah, because if you're talking about social media is, so I'll give you an example. My mother has been extremely sick for the last 5-6 months. One day she was feeling better and she got onto her Facebook, and then she made a few comments on Facebook which I felt were not all right. So I spoke to her and I was like, because social media is a battlefield. Yeah, everyone has an opinion, everyone has a judgment. When you enter the battlefield, you cannot. So I told her, I said, I cannot protect you over there. As a son, I can protect you everywhere else, but I cannot protect you in the virtual world. So you have to be very careful of what you are saying. Yeah, I am extremely hassled about the fact that that Dalit girl was raped and killed, and the UP police has burnt her body without giving her thing. So what did I do to protest? On my Facebook, as my profile picture, I just turned it black. Yeah. And for me, that is protest. And I protest this. I condemn this. I'm extremely angry. Yeah. Where we have, for the last month and a half to 2 months, we have gone round and round in circles and ridiculed Sushant Singh Rajput's death. We've ridiculed his death. Yeah. But for the last 2 months, we've just been distracted by this rubbish. A girl is picked up, kidnapped, raped, killed, burnt, and we are not outraged. But there are different ways of protesting. Yeah, you can protest silently. You can protest by being vociferous, or you can protest by being violent yourself. But Gandhiji said, an eye for an eye makes everyone blind, makes both the people blind. So, अब तूने मुझे मारा और मैं भी तुझे मारूंगा, that will not be happen. So please, that cannot happen. So please, you have to be very careful about what you are writing, and you are allowed your opinion. Absolutely, you must put in your opinion or what you feel, what you feel strongly about. Yeah. And in spite of that, if there are people who are judged, like if you are being judged, then maybe those are the wrong people for you. I've had to let go of people who I thought were friends, because suddenly they've turned into these extreme right-wing extremists, and I have no space for them in my life. I have no space for them in my life at all, and I had to let go of them because वो हर चीज पर वो मतलब हम inclusion diversity की बात कर रहे हैं, वो अभी भी हिंदू मुस्लिम करी जा रहे हैं. It's rubbish. Yeah. So, and that is my personal opinion. Yeah. So I would like your suggestions on the question that an introvert person who is shy or overcautious before starting a conversation as they are worried about getting judged. So I've spoken about getting judged, about being introvert. There are two words, introvert and introvert. Extrovert and extrovert. So to understand introvert, let me just tell you what an introvert is. An introvert is somebody who likes to replenish energies by going within. Like I am a introvert. Yeah, I'm an extrovert because I like to go out, but to replenish my energies, I need to go within. So first you have to figure out what is it that you are talking about. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Like I have a friend who is an extrovert, which essentially means that he needs the outside world to replenish his energies. He needs to go out dancing, he needs to go out with friends to feel replenished. Me on the other side, I need to go within, I need to go quiet, I need to go internal. Yeah. So what are the suggestions? Please do not beat yourself up for being an introvert. Yeah. Not everyone can be, song and dance. Yeah. Not everyone can be song and dance. If you're an introvert person, yeah, then what are the skills that you need as an introvert to up your communication skills? Yeah, so listening, obviously you must hone on your listening skills. You must hone in on your logical deduction skills. Yeah, these are because you're listening more, you're understanding more, you're comprehending more, and that is very, very important. Yeah. I overthink a lot. A sort of trick I developed is to be calm for 72 hours, and if the incident still bothers me, I act upon it. I hope it helps. If it works for you, use it. Yeah, but please, these thinking traps, these stories in the head, you have to be very, very careful of. Please understand, you guys are starting off now, is 17, 18, 19. Yeah, so if you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers. Don't seek the answers, seek the question. Find what is the best question for you. Yeah. Okay, so I think that is, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let's see if there are questions. What are the major skills we require to become independent? I can give a politically correct answer and I can give a politically incorrect answer. Take your pick.
Both are welcome. Yeah, grief to be become more accepting. This is what I personally feel, and in fact, this is why our induction program this time we try to put in a lot of diverse things together. Let the students pick up what they want.
Yes.
They let them develop a perspective. Now they are into the college, and let them. We just try to give them a more enabling environment. This is what is important. So any take is most welcome.
That is such a fantastic thought process. You know, to nurture, to enable.
Yes, totally.
Business has to stop. I think one of the biggest perils of the Indian education system is कि भाई आप गोदी में बैठो, फिर हम आपको खाना खिलाएंगे, फिर कोचेंगे, फिर आपको we will tuck you into bed, and that has to go away.
True, I agree.
Step away from a space of mediocrity, and we need to step into a space of excellence, not perfection. Yeah, perfection is a static concept. You know, we have to start.
That's interesting.
We have to strive through excellence, and because excellence is an ongoing process, and that is what is extremely important. But I will attempt to answer what are the major skills we require to become independent. If you're talking about being an independent entrepreneur, you need to have the ability to take care of your fears. I left my job at GE. I had no reason to leave my job. I was one of the youngest senior trainers that GE had. When I quit, I had a dream. I had a dream, and I got up, I went to office, I gave a handwritten resignation, and I walked out of my job. Again, no reason. 20 years back, I was earning quite a bit, but what did I want to become? I wanted to become a Sangeetkar. Yeah, and for those of you who've been to Delhi College, my journey with Sangeet really started with Mr. Tagre, God bless his soul. Mr. Tagre was the music teacher at DC, and he taught me the tabla for 3 years, and then he told me, "Beta, tumhari ungliyan moti hain." So, and then I became a tennis player. After that, I was a part of the school team also for a little while, but just this ability to say कि देखा जाएगा. Yeah, and it is very important to be able to say देखा जाएगा. Obviously, my parents were extremely worried, and I didn't tell my parents that I've quit my job for 15 days. My mother found out after 15 days, and she said, "Son, you're looking very relaxed these days. What have you done? Have you quit your job?" And I could lie, and I was like, "Yes, I have." And then she's like, "Oh, we must tell this to your father." And I was like, "What will happen now?" And my father was extremely supportive. And he asked me, "So what do you want to do, son?" And I was like, "I want to become a musician, and I'm going to start my own training firm." And he told me, he says, "I will give you 1.5 years to experiment with music." So I said, "What does this mean? Paise doge ki nahi doge?" He said, "Nah." He said, "I will not give a single rupee to you. You will survive on your own, but I will give you 1.5 years. Yeah, if in the next 1.5 years I don't see you on stage, you go back to a job." 1.5 years later, I was on stage with a singer from Pakistan called Abida Parveen at a festival called Jahane Khusro, which happens in Delhi every year. And for that year and a half, I must have practiced 8 to 10 hours a day minimum. So you want to become independent, you need to become skilled. You need to study, you need to practice. या एक हिंदुस्तानी क्लासिकल म्यूजिक में और वैदिक प्रिंसिपल्स में 40 दिन का चिल्ला होता है. 40 दिन के लिए आप अपने आप को बंद करो कमरे में, खाना कोई देगा तो खाओगे, नहीं तो सिर्फ संगीत बजाओ, सिर्फ practice karo, sirf riyaz karo. So you need to have the ability, you need to have the ability to step out of your comfort zone. Please understand, you will never succeed if you are in your comfort zone. या अगर बनी बनाई मिलेगी तो आप थ्राइव नहीं कर पाओगे, आप सर्वाइव कर पाओगे बहुत बढ़िया. या सो ये चीजें बहुत जरूरी हैं. You need to have the ability to take risks. You need to have the ability to express gratitude, because please understand कि irrespective of what happens, आपको पता नहीं है कि कौन सा इंसान किस वक्त पे आपके काम आ सकता है. या सो अगर आप आज किसी से बदतमीजी से बात कर रहे हो क्योंकि वो एक छोटा इंसान है या उसकी इतनी अहमियत नहीं है आपकी जिंदगी में, कल क्या पता, या कल क्या पता. I've been running after one or two people. I've been running after one or two people for to meet me, not in the last 6 months, but before that. कि मुझे मिल लो, HR हेड है, HR हेड है, HR हेड है, और 6 महीने तक उनके पास वक्त नहीं था. अभी वो मुझे फोन करते हैं कि यार आप इतने वेबिनार्स करते हो, प्लीज हमको भी बुला लो. Yeah, and I would just smile and I would just be like, sure, I will call you, but just like to tell you that I have been trying to reach you for the last 6 months, and jab mujhe kaam tha, you were not able to value me as much, and as HR people, we need to learn that. Yeah, we can't be we can't be selfish. Yeah, so I think that this is what I had to share. Please, you have to learn how to ride the tide, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very important. Yeah, think, speak large, not loud. Accept your vulnerabilities. Acknowledge your vulnerabilities. Find your stillness. Find your silence. Yeah, be kind. Be in a space of gratitude. Be in a space of forgiveness, and do the 5-minute miracle. Yeah, I will tell my colleague to also put that in the chat. Yeah, or what the words for the 5-minute miracle are, and please try them out. Go and thank your parents, your help, your siblings. Koi bada, koi chota nahi hai. Just say thank you so much for taking care of me.
Wonderful.
Over to you, Sona ma'am.
Thank you so much. And this has just been a fantastic session. I'm sure the students, as we said, that you created an enabling environment for them. And here we have our students, Mehak and Raj, who would wish to propose a formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Mehak.
That was indeed such an interactive and beautiful presentation, sir. I'm sure we thoroughly enjoyed answering a plethora of questions and reflecting upon our perspective towards life as a whole. John F. Kennedy rightly said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And so, as we extend our very warm gratitude to you, sir, for such a wonderful session, we all can just say that we take so many teachings with us to home today.
Thank you so much. That is so lovely to hear.
Wonderful.
Now I would request our principal, Dr. Sonal Sasodia, to present a memento to Mr. Vikram Badhwar as a token of our love and appreciation.
Can we have the memento? Yes. So thank you, Mr. Badhwar, for gracing this occasion. And we would be sending this across to you. So this is a small token from our end, and hope you like it. And thank you so much for being here.
This is so kind. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, students. And Naman sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Students, we'll be I'm sharing the link with you in the WhatsApp group for the activity which is coming up at 12 o'clock sharp. And you can join in with the link in the message that will be provided for Zoom. And see you at 12, everyone.
Yeah, students, you need to carry your pen and paper. I mean, you'll need to decode some things. These are mystery games, a very interesting one, the next session that's coming up. And we'll have winners. So please carry a pen and a paper so it becomes easier for you to do, right? So you can take a 10 minutes short break, and then please be here sharp at 12. There's a video also that we need to play. Or else if we have time, can we play the video right now?
Sure, ma'am. I can do that.
Yeah, I think, yes. There's an interesting video for you students. So please watch that.
Just give me a second.
Sure.
So students, this video is by your seniors, and do have a look.
Hey guys, how are you? So now that you have chosen the best institution, let's get you started with your virtual tour.
एडमिशन तुमने ले लिया है, फीस का रिफंड मिलेगा नहीं, आ जाओ कॉलेज भी देख ही ले। गाइस दिस इज अ पार्किंग लॉट, जगह बहुत कम है और लोग बहुत सारे, जल्दी आ जाना वरना पार्किंग नहीं मिलेगी।
आ जाओ। तो ये अपने कॉलेज का स्टार्टिंग है, ठीक है? दिस इज द मेन गेट। रिसेप्शन पे तुम्हें हमेशा दो स्माइली फेसेस दिखेंगे, भैया दीदी, बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल है। कभी भी इंटरनल्स के पेपर लीक कराने हो तो आप इन्हें कॉन्टैक्ट करना, ठीक है?
So this is Manjush's cabinet. He is one of the most hardworking and humble people you will ever meet, and he is the administrative fellow of the college.
देखो तुम्हें कभी भी लेक्चर बंक करना हो तो सिंपल है। और न्यूज़ सर, आपने कहा आरसीबी और पंजाब का मैच देखा नहीं था?
हाँ देखा कर दिया, विराट कोहली ने 2 कैच छोड़ दिया। बैठो आओ।
अगर इवेंट्स वगैरह में पार्ट लोगे ना तो कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में यहाँ पे चिल करने को मिलेगा। सॉर्टेड है, बिल्कुल एसी से लगा कर रखा है। पर धीरे बोलो, सुनने में आता कैबिन का गेट है, धीरे बात करना, आवाज वहां तक जाती है।
So guys, ये है अपने प्रिंसिपल का रूम, सोनल सिसोदिया। शी इज द फेस ऑफ आवर कॉलेज और बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज प्रोवाइड करते हैं और बहुत सारा एक्सपोजर के लिए हेल्प करते हैं।
और अटेंडेंस की डाट भी यही खानी होती है।
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम।
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम।
What are you guys doing here? Who will be attending the online classes then?
मैं तो कर रहा हूँ।
मैं भी कर रहा हूँ, अटेंडेंस सही कर रहा हूँ।
नहीं अटेंडेंस उसके बारे में बहुत पर्टिकुलर होना है। And what about your program? IIM?
Good मैम, very good, बढ़िया।
Participated?
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
winning?
Yes ma'am.
For sure?
Yes ma'am.
चलो keep going, attend the sessions, wear your masks.
हाँ मास्क पहनना।
बस अभी आने के लिए। फैकल्टी रूम में अभी एक फैकल्टी बसेंगे, नितिका भाई। नितिका मैम बहुत इतनी स्वीट है, इतनी स्वीट टीचर तुमने कभी मिले ही नहीं होंगे। तो वो तुम्हारी एमईएन में हेल्प करेंगी, तुम्हारी इकोनॉमिक्स में हेल्प करेंगी, तुम्हारी स्टडीज में वगैरह हर चीज़ में हेल्प करेंगी।
They are husband wife. They are both. Anand and
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. And
थोड़ा एक्सटेंड हो गया ना, स्टार्ट ऑन टाइम। यही तो मेरी प्रॉब्लम होती है। वन चीज इज
कभी तो खुद बना लिया कर।
we went through कल मैंने इसलिए तो तुम लोगों से नहीं
अरे तो हमेशा
अब तपस्सर गाइस, अगर तपस्सर थोड़े से तुमको लगे कि शर्मा रहे हैं तो नहीं शर्माना। एक्चुअली उनका भी इंडक्शन चल रहा है तुम्हारी तरह, उनका भी फर्स्ट ईयर है ना। और अब नम्रता मैम,
ये बहुत स्वीट है, बट फालतू पंगा मत लेना, पूरी अकड़ निकाल देंगे तुम्हारे 2 मिनट में।
अकाउंट्स
हेलो मैम।
फर्स्ट ईयर। और यहाँ पे नितिका मैम बैठते हैं, पटवारी गाइस। ये गर्ल्स कॉमन रूम नहीं है, ये राजेश सर का भी टेम्परेरी ऑफिस है। तो उसमें राजेश सर इज द पर्सन हु हैंडल्स द अकाउंट्स एंड जो डीएबीबी के फॉर्म होते हैं ना। गाइस एक बात हमेशा याद रखना, तुम अपने घर वालों से पैसे मांगना बंद कर दोगे, लेकिन राजेश सर तुमसे ओटीपी मांगना नहीं बंद नहीं कर देंगे।
कभी नहीं करेंगे।
राजेश सर कैसे हैं आप? अरे तुमने ओटीपी नहीं दिया? अरे
देंगे सर यार, आपका इतना ओटीपी।
यहाँ पे दुबे जी बैठते हैं अंदर। His life revolves around the library itself and the books.
And you will revolve around your exams.
दुबे जी,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon sir, कैसे हैं?
और कैसे हो आप?
बढ़िया
बढ़िया। एग्जाम
नहीं एग्जाम
टाइम से एग्जाम
फिर कैसे आ जाएगी?
ये वो रीजन है जिसके लिए कॉलेज में एडमिशन लिया। क्लासरूम नहीं, कॉमन रूम। यहाँ पे टीटी है, कैरम है, चेस है। अब मैं तुम्हें कॉलेज में आने का सेकंड रीजन दिखाता हूँ, जो है क्लासरूम। ये हमारी क्लास है, ये हमारे सीनियर्स की क्लास है, और ये तुम्हारी क्लास है। बुलाती है मगर जाने का नहीं।
कंप्यूटर लैब है, यहाँ पे अभिजीत सर रहते हैं, लेकिन आज वो लीव पे। अभिजीत सर इज द आईटी पर्सन वी हैव, एंड कभी भी क्लासरूम में कुछ अपने को सॉफ्टबोर्ड का इशू होता है ना, कि मूवी नहीं चल रही है, उस पर गाने नहीं चल रहे, यूट्यूब नहीं चल रहा, ही इज अ पर्सन। कंप्यूटर लैब में यहाँ बैठता है वो, और हर कंप्यूटर में CSGO, GTA, ICT, तो कंप्यूटर लैब में रिसर्च करने में आता ही कौन है वैसे भी।
गाइस ये टंकी है, जिसको पता है उसको पता है, बाकियों को हम बता देंगे।
So we hope every one of you like this funny rant by your super cool seniors. So everyone, you can take a leave now, and see you sharp at 12. I'll be sharing the link in your WhatsApp group pretty soon. Thank you.